who we have in charge of this country are a pile of lunatics, and we think we all know that. And not one of them, would you believe, has come out and given out about this. Because this is, as Grip Media says, and thank you to Grip Media for bringing this to my attention, political correctness gone haywire, and really it's haywire. And how Fine Gael, Leo Varadkar and the West End can stand by and say, this is totally fine, everything's normal. So I read this to you, and I kid you not, this is true. I looked into it, it's true. It will be done. It looks like nobody's going to stop it from being done. It looks like OT not bothered to cover it. But then again, what do you expect from OT? So they're going to remove Michael Collins' hat, the one he died in. So the reason why, because there's blood on it, and obviously because he got shot through the bullet ricocheted off the armoured car, during, obviously when he died. And it's been there. It's been there for decades, as it says here. It's been there for decades now. On display, and they just somebody's took offence to it and said, "Oh, let's remove it." No doubtly somebody on the far left or something like that. Again, this is the thing. This is the thing I say to people: we can't let this happen. How dare the National Museum of Ireland say, this is going to be put away, thrown away. We're going to put it in some place. If they throw it away, then God forgive us. But there's no other word but treason. If they do go and put it away and throw it in the bin, because I wouldn't put it past these psychopaths we have in government, what they would do. It's utter treason. To me, it's treason that they even thinking about moving it into some place. I don't know where. It doesn't say where they're going to put it, but it's treason. To me, it's treason that they've been thinking about it, because it's been there for decades. What's the harm it's doing there? It's there to remember a man who sacrificed. A picture behind me actually, straight looking at me straight away. Who sacrificed so much for this country, and he died for this country in a tragic circumstances when he was so young, and the ambition he had for Ireland. And I don't know what he would think of this. I don't know what he would think of this, and I don't know what he would think of everything else happening in Ireland. I don't know. I really, really don't know what he would say about us at the moment. I really would not want to see what he had to say about us, because we were given a gift by them men who sacrificed their lives for our freedom and for our independence, and they gifted to us for us to take care and to mind. And we just made, I don't know what we have made. We made biscotti bolognese with it, more or less. We have really just messed everything they wanted in Ireland up, and I might as well say straight. And now these people are talking about moving his hat, and people might say it's not a big deal, but it's the thing. I say this now in a second. This is a historic artifact. He died in this hat. Even though it could have blood, it's there to remember him. It's there to remember his sacrifice and what happened to him. And not let him move out of the history books. Because again, if we let this government bring in its agenda, of course, they try and push anything that represents freedom, and anything that represents, a man who stood up when nobody else stood up. They try and push that in the history book. But again, if we let this happen, in a few years' time to move everything, they won't be allowed any Michael Collins pictures. I might just say straight, because this is what's happening. They want to tear down all historic artifacts and everything like that. And everything. They just want to get rid of history. They want to rewrite history, in other words. They want to rewrite it to their agenda, whatever agenda they want to push. But again, it's not fair. It's really not fair, because this man sacrificed everything for us to be here, for this state to be alive, for us to be free. And that's the main thing they take out here. And again, for them to even say this, to me, it's treason. And why is this history? It's treason to even think about it, to move his hat anywhere, or to put it anywhere. And it's and as his nephew has said, his great nephew has said, his political correctness gone mad, and I agree with him. I agree with him totally. It's there to remember him. It's there to remember what he sacrificed and what people like him sacrificed. For us, not for anybody else, not for any other country, for us, for the people here on this island. And these people are just like, it's only a hat. You have these people just saying it's only a hat. It's the historic significance. That hat is nearly 100 years old. And obviously, we have to admire it. And it's a representation of what he had imagined for Ireland. And what he fought for. And it's only a memory for his sacrifice. And these people want to move, and again, it's political correctness got mad. Might as well say straight. And again, it fits the government's agenda, really. Might as well say straight. Because again, you see with everything, they try and rewrite everything. They try to say, there's nothing to see here, children. This is what happened. No, it was put in a historical document. Let's take for example, a fire or something, a historic fire, say for example historic fire in Ireland, just make it up for example, you know, somebody wrote first-hand account, you know, on the day, you know, they remember seeing somebody putting, you know, a government official, say for example, putting you know, diesel into the house and setting it on fire. You know, they try and rewrite it saying, no, it's this person who believed in this, that and the other. You know, because again, this is what they want to rewrite history. They do really want to rewrite history. Like they're trying to rewrite history, with some regards. And we can't let them. Simple as that. History is history. We're built on history. Everything we do is part of history. Like even now, as I'm making this video, maybe in 50 years' time, 20 years' time, somebody will be watching, and they'll be saying, "What kind of a bollocks is this fella here?" But you know what I'm saying. You know, everything we do is history. And it's, you know, that's what makes where we go. It's history, and we have to remember our history, where we came from, and what was done to make our history possible, and to make our lives possible. So take the just say, hopefully, please God, that we consider. Hopefully, I might write off an email, and not likely anything to be done about it. But it's no harm to complain, to raise concern about it, because it is something to be very concerned about. In my opinion. So take care, everybody. Leave the article in the description. It might have missed out on something, so please check it out. And subscribe for more, and take care, and bye.